It's a shot I always work, but not something that was specific to this fight. I've dropped my brother with it.
The world of mixed martial arts is built on equal parts respect and rivalry, discipline and danger. Fighters rise from obscurity to legend through sweat, sacrifice, and the willingness to face anyone inside the cage. For Dakota Ditcheva, the British-Bulgarian phenomenon known to fans simply as dangerous, this journey had been nothing short of meteoric. Yet on a cool July night in Cape Town, her story would take an unexpected turn, not just in combat, but in character. The night began not with applause, but with accusation.
I'm excited, but I feel a little bit sorry for the one that's going to face me next.
Dakota Ditcheva, ladies and gentlemen,
Has anybody checked Dakota's hand wraps? The words cut through the pre-fight chatter like a blade. A challenger, Sumiko Inaba, fierce, outspoken, and determined, hurled accusations that Ditcheva was cheating, claiming her devastating knockouts were not the result of natural power, but of illegal hand wrapping. She's been knocking these girls out cold, Inaba declared. No one says a thing. I'll get justice for all of them. She cheated, plain and simple. For Dakota, who had built her reputation on skill, precision, and work ethic, the attack on her integrity stung deeply. But if her opponent wanted a war of words, Dakota wasn't interested. She had her eyes on history, a 10th consecutive stoppage victory, one that would etch her name among the sport's elite. When the accusations surfaced, she didn't flinch. She didn't respond online or at press conferences. She saved her answers for the cage. 2 fighters, 2 worlds. At just 25, Dakota Ditcheva had already captured the imagination of MMA fans worldwide. A newly crowned PFL world champion, she had torn through her division with an unmatched streak, 9 straight finishes, each one a statement of technical dominance. Her style wasn't wild or flashy, it was surgical. Calm under pressure, she dismantled opponents with the poise of a veteran, using timing, range, and brutal efficiency. Her opponent that night, Sumiko, the Lady Samurai Inaba, couldn't have been more different. A short, stocky Hawaiian fighter with a furious style, she embodied chaos. Every punch she threw came from the soul, every forward step fueled by grit. Her record of 8 wins and 1 narrow loss was impressive, but it was her energy, the reckless abandon with which she fought, that made her a fan favorite. Inaba was no tactician, she was a storm. A street-brawling samurai whose mission was to overwhelm, not outthink. She didn't just hit opponents, she tried to break them. And in the weeks leading up to the bout, she made her intentions crystal clear. She's never been hit like I hit, Inaba told reporters. When I crack her, she'll be surprised. And when I take out the face of PFL, guess who becomes the new face? The stage was set. Cape Town would host the first major MMA event ever held in Africa. 2 women stood ready to define the night, one defending her honor, the other trying to destroy it. Round 1, the clash begins. When the bell rang, all the noise, the accusations, the interviews, the hype, faded into silence. There was only instinct, blood, and purpose. Refusing to touch gloves, Dakota made her stance clear. This was personal. Inaba charged forward like a bull, claiming the center of the ring immediately, trying to smother Dakota's long reach and technical precision. But she paid for her aggression almost instantly. A sharp right hand from Dakota cracked against her cheek, followed by a stinging left that drew gasps from the crowd. Dakota's counters were laser accurate. Inaba's forward pressure met precision artillery fire. Every wild swing from the Hawaiian warrior opened her up for punishment, and Dakota made her pay. Still, Inaba pressed on. She forced Dakota to the fence, trying to drag the fight into the clinch where chaos could reign. But Dakota, recalling her Muay Thai roots, reversed the position with elegant violence. Knees and elbows ripped through the Thai clinch as she dominated every exchange, her composure never wavering. The crowd roared as Dakota unleashed combinations to the body and head, her rhythm flawless. Inaba ate the shots and kept coming, her face already swelling, her resolve undimmed. It was as if pain only fueled her, but there was no doubt who controlled the round. The British champion's accuracy and calm dismantled Inaba's aggression piece by piece. Round 2, precision meets fury. Between rounds, Inaba's corner urged her to keep up the pressure. She's hurt. She doesn't like it inside, they shouted. But Dakota's eyes told a different story. Cold, focused, unbothered. As the second round began, Inaba rushed again, swinging wild hooks. Dakota sidestepped effortlessly, countering with crisp jabs and stabbing kicks to the midsection. Her timing was immaculate. Then came the knees, sharp, punishing strikes to the body and head that echoed through the arena. Inaba stumbled but refused to fall. A right-hand combination sent her reeling, seeing stars, yet she still marched forward. Commentators marveled at Dakota's shot selection. "That's world-class striking," one said. "She's showing why she's the best in the division." Inaba's chin was granite, her spirit unbreakable, but she was running out of ideas. Every attempt to close distance was met with precision firepower. Dakota varied her attacks, elbows inside, low kicks outside, perfectly timed teeps to halt Inaba's rushes. Midway through the round, Inaba managed to clinch and attempted a takedown, but Dakota's balance and defensive wrestling held firm. Instead, Dakota punished her with short uppercuts and knees that snapped Inaba's head back. The round ended with Dakota firmly in control. Inaba's face was a roadmap of swelling and bruises, her breathing heavy. The Lady Samurai's courage was unquestionable, but her tactics had failed. Still, she refused to surrender. Round 3, the Warrior's Test. The third round was supposed to be Inaba's chance to turn the tide. Dakota had ended her last 9 fights early. Now she was on the brink of another finish. But early in the round, a moment of disaster struck. In the midst of a clinch exchange, Dakota grimaced and signaled to her corner. She had broken her left arm. It was a moment that would have ended many fighters' nights, yet Dakota didn't even consider stopping. She simply adjusted. With her left arm compromised, she switched to a one-handed assault. Right hands, knees, elbows, everything she had left became a weapon. Inaba, sensing weakness, charged in again. But Dakota's right hand kept finding its mark. Every counter landed clean. Every knee drove into the ribs with surgical precision. The crowd could see the pain etched on Dakota's face, but also her defiance. She fought through it, taunting Inaba, dancing around her bruised opponent, landing combinations one-handed. By the final minute, the outcome was beyond question. Dakota was in control from the start to finish. The bell rang to end the war, and the fighters, both exhausted, both bloodied, returned to their corners. As the scorecards were read aloud, the result was unanimous. She had dominated every round. She had silenced the accusations. She had won most decisively, but victory came at a cost. The price of greatness. In the post-fight interview, Dakota's voice trembled slightly, not from emotion but from pain. "I think I've injured my left arm," she admitted, holding it gingerly. "I'm gutted, really. I've been out so long, and now I'm injured again. But I hope you guys enjoyed the fight anyway." The crowd cheered. Their respect for her only deepened. Even in triumph, she showed humility. Dakota praised Inaba's toughness, acknowledging that not every opponent can be finished. "Sometimes," she said, "you need to plan for the full rounds. She's tough and she pushed me. I learned a lot tonight." It was a rare glimpse behind the warrior mask, an acknowledgement that dominance isn't always measured in knockouts, but in endurance, patience, and resilience. Respect earned for Sumiko Inaba. The loss was devastating, but her pride remained intact. She had gone 3 hard rounds with one of the best strikers in women's MMA and refused to go down. Her face bore the evidence of battle: swollen eyes, bruised cheeks, a busted lip, but her spirit was unbroken. When the two fighters finally met in the center of the cage after the fight, Dakota extended her good arm. The two shared a brief, wordless handshake. The tension that had defined their buildup dissolved into respect. The accusations, the hostility, the talk, all of it washed away. In that moment, both understood what only fighters truly can. The cage is truth, and the truth had been revealed. Beyond the personal rivalry, the fight itself carried historical weight. It was the first major MMA event ever staged in Africa, a groundbreaking occasion for the sport and for women's MMA in particular. Cape Town's energy was electric that night. Fans packed the arena, waving flags, chanting names, and celebrating the union of 2 continents through combat. Dakota felt the gravity of the moment. In her post-fight message, she paid tribute to the crowd. "To everyone here tonight, thank you. This was special. Africa, you made history tonight." It wasn't just another win. It was a milestone. For her, for the PFL, and for women's MMA as a whole. As she left the cage, Dakota's team surrounded her, proud yet concerned about the injury. Doctors later confirmed that her arm had indeed suffered a serious fracture, but even as she faced months of recovery, Dakota's focus shifted quickly to what lay ahead. Rumors swirled almost immediately. Her next potential opponent would be none other than Liz Carmouche, the reigning PFL World Flyweight Champion and a former Marine known for her grit and championship pedigree. Carmouche represented the ultimate test, a multiple-time world champion with years of experience and a complete skill set. For Dakota, it would be her toughest challenge yet. But if the fight against Inaba proved anything, it was that pain could not break her, only sharpen her resolve. Her record remained perfect. Her reputation, once questioned, now stood untouchable. For years, Dakota Ditcheva had been celebrated for her speed and finishing power. But that night in Cape Town, she proved something greater, that she could adapt, endure, and still dominate even when stripped of her primary weapon. She learned that greatness isn't always about the knockout. Sometimes it's about patience and composure under fire. Analysts later praised the performance as one of her most mature showings yet. This wasn't just a win, one commentator noted. It was an evolution. Dakota didn't just defeat an opponent, she overcame adversity. That sentiment echoed across the MMA world. Social media lit up with messages of admiration. Even fighters who once doubted her began to acknowledge her toughness. The controversy that began the fight week, the accusations of cheating, vanished into silence. No one questioned her again. For Sumiko Inaba, the loss served as a turning point too. Though she failed to dethrone Dakota, she earned respect for her courage and determination. Many fighters would have folded under the barrage she endured. She did not. Fans nicknamed her the Iron Samurai after the bout, and despite the swelling and bruises, she left the arena smiling. "I lost to the better fighter tonight," she said afterward, "but I'll be back." In many ways, that humility mirrored Dakota's own. Their paths had collided through conflict, but both walked away stronger for it. The fight wasn't just a test of skill, it was a microcosm of what MMA truly represents. For Dakota, the night symbolized redemption. She silenced doubters, overcame pain, and showcased the heart of a champion. For Inaba, it was proof that toughness alone, though admirable, isn't enough against precision and discipline, because every fight tells a story bigger than just punches and kicks. Weeks after the fight, Dakota signed a new long-term contract with the PFL, cementing her place as one of the organization's brightest stars. The deal reflected the promotion's faith in her potential to become not just a champion, but a global ambassador for women's MMA. Meanwhile, speculation about her comeback opponent grew louder. Liz Carmouche, ever the consummate professional, welcomed the challenge publicly. "When she's healed, I'll be ready. Let's give the fans the fight they deserve." The prospect of that clash, veteran versus rising star, promised to be monumental. But whatever happens next, one thing is certain: Dakota Ditcheva's legend is only beginning. In the end, the accusations that started it all, the claims of cheating and illegal hand wraps, became nothing more than background noise in the story of a champion. Dakota didn't defend herself with words. She did it with her fists, her resilience, and her integrity. She walked into the cage under suspicion and walked out a hero. Her broken arm became a symbol, not of weakness, but of endurance. Her victory, a testament to her spirit. As the cameras faded and the lights dimmed in Cape Town, the echoes of that night lingered, a lesson to every fighter, every fan, and every critic. True strength isn't proven when everything goes right. It's proven when everything goes wrong and you still rise.